Hi, Yamadi. My name is Adam Lynchman, and I'm a student at Centenary College's Business Schools in the Social Media Marketing program. I'm recording this video as a suggestion to you as some options for Shopkeep to further some business and pick up some new clients. What I looked to do was find some untapped well of possible clients for Shopkeep. Now, in looking online and looking as far as how Shopkeep promotes themselves and advertise, you seem to be more of a full business solution that includes scheduling, back of house work, and so on. But what I noticed is there's less of a target on the small business market, crafters, food trucks, DIY, small businesses. Now, as somebody who frequents a lot of these types of things, I noticed that Square seems to be the big dog in that area. So what I looked into is finding ways that Shopkeep can become the new popular option over Square to potential new users. Now, what I found within looking through Hootsuite and different streams, I found there was a lot of need for ease of use. Now, where Shopkeep seems to focus mostly on its versatility and its options, Square seems to focus more on simplicity, ease of use, and a very easy to get used to program. So in looking, that's kind of what I geared towards. I basically used Facebook and Twitter within Hootsuite and in my streams. Facebook, namely because people who aren't technologically savvy will gravitate towards Facebook than any other platform. It's what they're familiar with. You're not going to find people who can possibly use the service on something as frequently as on something such as Twitter. Twitter is for more the hip and into its social media user, but introductory social media users generally gravitate to Facebook. There's a lot of chatter on there, about wanting to make the most of their profits at the vendor fairs, food truck festivals, flea markets that these people attend. And that's a big opportunity for growth for the company. What I notice most is that most of these people don't seem comfortable in finding new ways to do so. Now, just through word of mouth, as we all know, Square leads the pack because people see other people using the product. Now, what I wanted to try and do is give you guys a way to be the first visible option to these untapped customers. So, as I had said before, I set up my streams for mostly Facebook and saw what the chatter were within communities of crafters, flea marketers, and so on. When I went into Twitter, I used hashtags such as Square, Crafter, Flea Market, DIY. I was getting a good amount of information, and when I saw comparisons between Square's posts and Shopkeep's posts, basically it came down to Shopkeep was stressing, again, the versatility, where Square was putting up simple pictures, simple, easy to understand posts in which somebody who had never seen something like that before would kind of feel more comfortable exploring further. So my idea was to give you guys a way to go and possibly market to these less tech-savvy users and have them opt to choose Shopkeep over Square, or just as their preferred POS of choice. So, a few things I've noticed within the research and that I'd like to suggest are a few things. So, focus on the little guy should obviously become a priority. It doesn't seem as if it's done predominantly through Shopkeep. So I think it's something that can definitely benefit you guys. Maybe marketing yourselves within small vendor fairs, within flea markets, within areas where there are a good amount of potential users that don't have a mobile POS option. Where most of the marketing for Shopkeep is done based on a full business solution, turning that direction into an ease of use campaign would be great. I think it would make people feel more comfortable in using the product and maybe dilute Square's market share a little bit with an option that would be easy for first-time users. Get on Android. You guys are missing out on a ton of possible new users. Yes, Apple seems to be the predominant platform. You guys need to find a way to get on Android. Not everybody's comfortable with one or the other, and you're missing out on about half possible users just by not being available on Android. I know it sounds kind of biased. Somebody picks Apple over Android, so on. It doesn't matter. Customers need to have the access to perform transactions with whatever mobile device they may own. Another way to get people involved with the company would be to offer some incentives. I noticed Square uses a lot of no charge transaction fees within the first $1,000 and so on. And anything that makes it easier or more enticing for a client to get their foot in the door would be completely beneficial, especially for a small business user who's on the fence about making the jump and getting used to the technology. Any savings, especially on somebody who's making far less money than a larger business, would be helpful to them. So in a sense, to wrap things up, smaller scale focus would be huge for Shopkeep, and it definitely would be able to compete with Square in the small business category. I can go to new restaurants, I can go to flea markets and craft shows, and everybody has Square on their phone. That's the go-to. Imagine if you could tap into even a fraction of those users or get them to convert. That would be huge for Shopkeep. I think it's an initiative you guys should really look into and be present in communities such as that. And if you guys feel as if you can benefit from them, I think it would be a good idea. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to reach out to me, my email is adam@lichtman81@gmail. I'd like to hear your feedback. I'd like to hear where you guys are going with this, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Thank you very much.